Hi folks, welcome to Maverick Gun Works. Today I want to talk about the Mossberg Shockwave home defense shotgun. And here we have a copy of that product. This one in 12 gauge. They are also available in 20 gauge and 410. It's a really cool product for home defense. As with anytime we're looking at a firearm, I was going to confirm that our chamber is empty. Here we go. And also there are no shells in our magazine. So we are safe to good to go. Alrighty, some of the features of this product. We have our top of the receiver safety button, as with typical with most Mossberg products. And on our release tab for releasing the bolt and be able to rack the gun without firing it, we have the release button right conveniently beside the trigger guard here. Works very well if you're a right-handed person. Honestly, left-handed folks might have a little bit situation with that. But for most of us, the release button is in a place where you can use your thumb or your index finger if you wanted to be able to release the bolt and pull the slide back. All right. To clean this firearm, as always, we're going to open our chamber and pull a solvent patch through the barrel, put some solvent inside the receiver to let it have some time to dissolve and dissolve the burnt products away, burnt gunpowder. But to make this thing a little bit more accessible, it's easy to take the barrel off. I want to show you that right quick. All we do is pull our slide about halfway back and remove our magazine tube cap, which by the way has built in a sling swivel from the factory. Makes it convenient. And with that also a sling swivel mounted on the back of the grip. So really easy to put a sling on this thing. And with our bolt about halfway back or so, we can wiggle the barrel a little bit and the barrel will come right off. It makes it really easy to get into, to clean it without having to finagle inside the chamber, inside the receiver. So here we go, and we can also be able to pull the bolt back now and have easier access to clean inside of the receiver a little bit better. Okay, works out well that way. Alrighty, let's stick our barrel back on. Put a bolt about halfway back or so. Line our barrel into the receiver and slip it on of the magazine tube, the bracket here, and you can hear the clicking noise as we tighten the magazine cap. There's a spring-loaded detent that will catch the notches on the magazine cap, keeps the cap from backing off while you're operating the firearm, and then we're ready to rock and roll again. Pretty cool. All right, and by the way, this is made in the USA by Mossberg in North Haven, Connecticut, actually. Alrighty, we have, let's see, other features of this product. I do like the idea that we have a safety band, I guess you call it, on the forearm, which also shows your pump handle in this case. It would be a very bad day if you were to slip off your hand from the forearm, being excited about operating the gun, and your hand slip off and be in front of the barrel when you pull the trigger. That would make a very bad day. Okay, and with this gun being a 12 gauge, this model holds 5 in the magazine as far as your standard 2 3/4 inch shells. And I want to talk about that for a second. You have an option on this beginning of pump, and it will operate with the shorty stubby shells. I want to show you that quick. We have here a standard 2 3/4 inch length shell, birdshot, number 8 birdshot. It will hold 5 of these in the magazine and 1 in your chamber. But you also have the option on being able to operate the gun with these little stubby shells. Okay, we'll compare that to the length of them. That's pretty cool. And these things are really great for training purposes, for teaching kids to shoot, and for just having fun without having to reload as often, honestly. Where you would have 5 of these standard length in the magazine, with the stubby shells, it will hold 8, and 1 in the chamber gives you a total of 9 rounds. And with that too, you have less recoil because you have less powder and less shot in the gun, in the shell. So a little more fun, less recoil, more controllable. Okay? Great training for training situations. Great for teaching kids how to shoot it, and even for folks that may be more sensitive to recoil. And be honest with you, this is going to be substantial recoil if you put a full power load in a 12 gauge shotgun without it being up on your shoulder. The gun is not designed to be put on your shoulder. It's designed to be fired, from the hip, from the waist kind of thing. So you would hold it pretty much just like we got here. And after firing, every time you're racking the slide, you want to make sure that you have a good grip on it, because 12 gauge with a full power load is going to be a substantial recoil for most folks. That being said, the gun also is available in 20 gauge and in 410. So I think that the 410 will be a really good option for folks that would not want to have to control the 12 gauge recoil. Alrighty. And that being the case, by the way, with the ATF form, when you go to purchase this gun, inside the forms that most people will have to fill out, there's an option that the dealer typically checks off after you've signed your form, where the gun was either a long gun, a handgun, or other. In this case, other typically is reserved for things like a receiver for a AR rifle, for example. It's not a full gun built yet, but it is considered the serialized part, which is a receiver, is considered a other, which is part of a firearm. And in this case, with the Mossberg Shockwave, it is considered other. It is a firearm, but it's not classified as a long gun or a handgun. All right, being a 14-inch barrel, very maneuverable for in-the-home use. And tell you what, let's do a trigger pull test with this and see what we come up with. What it looks like. Alrighty, we go here. Well, I'll get my trigger gauge right. All right, right about 5.5 pounds, between 5.5 and 6, somewhere in there. So that's what I would expect probably from a gun that's designed to be used for this kind of thing. You realize it's not meant to be a target gun. It's not meant to be a really slick trigger like a bitch rifle would be, for example. It is for self-defense. So you want to have a little more resistance to it, so that you're definitely, positively, you want to pull the trigger in a self-defense situation. You may be nervous, excited, and you want to make sure that you do have confidence in that you're firing when you want to. Right? So you have a little more resistance to it, as it should be. Okay. So anyways, that being said, I like this gun. This is a cool little shotgun. And I believe if you had a 410 or even maybe 20 gauge, it would be a great home defense product. For the 12 gauge, at least for me personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But if you have a younger person or even a small frame lady, for example, it may be a little bit more control than what they would be comfortable with. So with that, hope you enjoyed our talk about the Mossberg Shockwave. If we can help you out with something, Maverick Gun Works, give us a call. Thanks for watching.